beloved chosen one. This is not a casual moment drifting across your screen, and it is not another empty sound competing for your attention. This is a divine interruption. Heaven has stepped into your atmosphere because you have been standing too close to a decision that could wound your peace, delay your calling, and silence the very oil God placed on your life. You have felt it in your spirit already. The pressure has been unusual. The confusion has been heavier than normal. Doors have been shifting, people have been acting strangely, and your inner world has carried a warning you could not fully explain. That is because the Lord has been pressing on your heart again and again. And now the message is becoming unmistakable. Do not move without Him. Do not speak out of pain. Do not return to what He already pulled you out of. You are not being restrained because you are forgotten. You are being restrained because you are marked. There are seasons when God comforts you softly, and there are seasons when He confronts you directly. This is one of those moments. The warning is not proof of rejection. It is proof of mercy. The Father corrects what He still claims. He interrupts what He still intends to preserve. That is why this hour feels sharp in your spirit. You are being called higher. But before elevation comes separation. Before clarity comes surrender. Before victory comes obedience. What looks like delay is actually protection, because some doors in front of you are dressed like answers but carry the scent of destruction. The enemy does not always attack with obvious darkness. Sometimes he offers shortcuts, emotional reactions, familiar voices, and opportunities that appear harmless until they drain your discernment. But you were never chosen to live by impulse. You were chosen to move by revelation. The Spirit speaks clearly through the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 21. And your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." When you turn to the right or when you turn to the left, that word is for you right now. God is not silent around your crossroads. He is speaking behind the noise, behind the fear, behind the urgency of the flesh. He is telling you where not to go, what not to touch, who not to answer, and which thought must not be entertained another day. You already know this warning carries weight, so do not harden your heart. Slow down. Pray again. Listen again. The next move must be holy, not hurried. And if this word has found you at the exact moment you needed it, like this message, share it with someone being tested. Subscribe for more prophetic encouragement, and comment 114 as your sign that you choose obedience over impulse. You have already felt the tension between what God is asking and what your flesh keeps trying to negotiate. That tension is not small. It is the hidden battlefield where many destinies are delayed, not because the calling was weak, but because obedience was postponed one compromise at a time. The cost of delay is never measured only in lost time. It is measured in drained peace, blurred vision, weakened conviction, and doors that should have opened earlier but remained shut because hesitation kept sitting on the throne where surrender was supposed to reign. You cannot keep calling it confusion when heaven has already called it disobedience. You cannot keep naming it caution when deep inside you know it is fear wearing a wise disguise. There comes a moment when the Lord stops repeating Himself in gentle tones and begins confronting the area you have tried to keep undecided. That is where this word meets you now. You are standing near choices that seem manageable, but they carry spiritual consequences larger than your emotions can currently measure. Every time God tells you to release something and you continue feeding it, you train your spirit to tolerate what was sent to weaken you. Every time He tells you to move and you remain parked in comfort, you create a private agreement with stagnation. Delay is dangerous because it rarely announces itself as rebellion. It presents itself as one more day, one more excuse, one more emotional attachment, one more attempt to hold what God already judged unfit for your future. The ancient warning rises from the book of James, chapter 4, verse 17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. That word cuts through every layer of self-justification. You are not being warned because God wants to shame you. You are being warned because He refuses to let you drift peacefully toward damage. Mercy is speaking before consequences grow heavier. The Father is exposing the seriousness of this hour because your assignment is too sacred to be governed by half obedience. What has been delayed must now be faced honestly. What has been excused must now be named truthfully. What has been entertained must now be shut down decisively. This is the hour to stop standing between two loyalties, two voices, two directions. You are not created to limp between conviction and compromise. You are called to walk in clean obedience, and the longer you resist what God already made clear, the more expensive that resistance becomes in the chambers of your soul and the timing of your future. Now the battle around your calling becomes impossible to ignore, because what is pressing against you is no longer subtle. The resistance has grown teeth. What once looked like inconvenience now reveals itself as warfare. You have watched strange fatigue settle over moments that should have carried momentum. You have seen distraction rise exactly when clarity was forming. You have felt emotional weight appear without warning, as if something unseen was trying to press your spirit back into silence. This is happening because your obedience is not small. Your yes threatens what has benefited from your hesitation. The moment you begin to move with conviction, the atmosphere around your life begins to react. Do not misread this resistance as proof that you are off course. Many times the intensity increases because you are getting closer to the nerve of your assignment. Darkness does not waste pressure on what carries no threat. The reason this season has felt so contested is because your life is not ordinary ground. There is oil on your surrender, authority on your endurance, and consequence attached to your obedience. The enemy understands that once you stop doubting what God said, your steps will begin breaking patterns that have followed your bloodline for years. Your awakening will not affect you alone. It will touch your house, your future, your atmosphere, and even people who have not yet met the healed version of you. That is why you must stop calling yourself weak because you are under pressure. Pressure often surrounds what heaven is preparing to strengthen. Fire does not always mean destruction. Sometimes it is the evidence that God is refining a vessel He intends to use publicly. The battle is intense because your purpose is alive. The conflict is sharp because your spirit is carrying something the enemy cannot afford to let mature without interruption. But interruption is not defeat. Delay is not denial. Opposition is not the end of the story. The Word of God stands in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. So remain watchful now. Guard your gates. Protect your focus. Refuse conversations that leak strength. Refuse thoughts that magnify fear more than they magnify truth. The war around you is real, but greater still is the hand preserving you in the middle of it. You are not abandoned in this conflict. You are being trained through it, sharpened in it, and taught how to stand without flinching. And if this word confirms what your spirit has been sensing, comment, I stand as a public seal that you will not retreat from the battle shaping your calling. You are now approaching the point where hesitation stops looking harmless and begins revealing its true cost. There is a line the soul can cross when repeated resistance hardens into numbness. And that is why this warning must be heard with trembling clarity. God is patient, but His patience is never permission to keep delaying the surrender He has already requested. Every time you ignore conviction, you do not silence heaven. You only make your own hearing weaker. The danger is not that God has lost the power to speak. The danger is that a person can become so familiar with resisting truth that the voice once recognized with tears is later met with indifference. That is the cliff edge hidden inside prolonged disobedience. You have sensed this before. There were moments when conviction came swiftly, when one wrong step troubled your spirit, when one compromise stole your peace. But when delay becomes a habit, what once shook you can start feeling strangely normal. That is not maturity, that is drift. And drift is deadly because it happens slowly enough for the flesh to call it balance. Yet heaven calls it peril. You cannot play with what God told you to flee and expect your discernment to remain sharp. You cannot keep entertaining what weakens your spirit and still expect to carry clean fire. The point of no return does not usually arrive with thunder. It often comes in the quiet settling of a heart that no longer responds. The sobering truth is written in the letter to the Hebrews. Chapter 3, verse 15. Today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts. That word falls on this hour like a final hand at the shoulder. Today means now, not after one more cycle, not after one more wound, not after one more compromise dressed as closure. The Lord is calling you to respond while your heart is still tender enough to feel Him. This is mercy moving quickly, mercy refusing to leave you untouched, mercy standing between you and the coldness that would make future obedience far more difficult. Receive this warning as love wrapped in urgency, and as this message continues reaching those standing at their own spiritual crossroads. Some of you may feel led to support this work in a practical way. When you give, you are not purchasing a blessing, and you are not trying to impress God. You are simply helping strengthen a stream of encouragement that keeps reaching weary hearts, calling wandering souls back to the voice of the Lord, and sustaining a place where truth is spoken without compromise. Let this be done only from peace, only from willingness, and only as an act of sincere partnership in what is lifting others toward obedience today. Now the moment of decision stands fully in front of you, and heaven is no longer speaking in riddles. The warning has been sounded, the resistance has been exposed, the danger of delay has been uncovered, and the line between obedience and loss has been made plain. What remains is your response. This is where many people look for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more emotional wave strong enough to carry them into surrender without effort. But that is not how this moment works. The Lord has already spoken with enough clarity for action. What He seeks from you now is not endless analysis, but movement. Not perfect feelings, but yielded trust. Not a dramatic display, but a clean yes. You were not brought this far to stand trembling at the edge of your assignment, while lesser voices decide your future. You were not preserved through betrayal, confusion, delay, and hidden warfare just to arrive here and shrink back. The reason this hour feels weighty is because something written over your life is trying to come into visible form. There are doors waiting on your obedience. There is peace waiting on your separation. There is strength waiting on your surrender. There is a version of you on the other side of this response that no longer negotiates with fear, no longer bows to the comfort of old cycles, and no longer treats divine instruction like a suggestion. Heaven speaks with final clarity through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that you and your offspring may live. This is the heart of it. Choose life. Choose the narrow road if it is the road where God breathes. Choose the closed door if the open one would corrupt your spirit. Choose the lonely season if it protects your oil. Choose truth over appetite, conviction over convenience, obedience over delay. You do not need permission from those who cannot hear what God is saying to you. You do not need applause from people who were never assigned to understand your consecration. This next step is sacred, and your answer must rise from the deepest place of reverence within you. So rise now. Cut the agreement with indecision. Break partnership with every thought that told you tomorrow would be safer than today. Take hold of the word that found you and answer the Lord while your spirit burns. And if you are making that choice before heaven right now, comment 846 as your testimony that you are choosing life, choosing obedience, and stepping into what was written over you before the foundations of the earth. And when this message becomes a flame in your chest, let your response move like light across still water. Like this message, as though placing a small stone of remembrance on the path, a quiet sign that heaven's whisper did not pass you by. Share it the way one traveler hands a lantern to another before night deepens, so no weary soul must walk alone. Comment below like planting a seed in sacred ground, a visible trace that your spirit received what words alone could not contain. Subscribe as one who chooses to remain near the river, returning again and again to the place where thirst is met with living water. And for those moved to give or donate, let it be like laying oil into a lamp already burning, so its glow can keep reaching hearts still searching for dawn.